We have been talking about being victoriously outspoken for some time. Those of you that have followed the videos, thank you, thank you. Those of you who left a comment and said help you, thank you, because that's exactly what they're meant to do. It's always about empowerment. And I know if you saw the YouTube or the TikTok about the situation with Snoop Dogg, my goal is never to tear anybody down, but I will speak to ignorance. That's why having a voice is so important. Not to go after somebody, but you need to think about your words and understand the impact of your words before you say them. I definitely do not have the impact nor the audience that Snoop does. And in doing so, it is hurtful because there are so many people that will be despondent. There will be some that, when you change and when you say something, well, let me back up. Remember, we've been talking about being victoriously outspoken. Words are powerful, words live forever. That's why some people will remember what you say to them for a long time. And if you are not able, if you do not receive the right counseling and coaching, it is hard for people to get past words that you say to them because those words live forever. And you have to really understand why it was said, when it was said, how it was said, so that you can find peace to be able to forgive. And in forgiving, that does not mean that you allow people back into your space. People have always said forgive and forget. And that is not, it doesn't make sense all the time. It doesn't make sense at all because you need to forgive and remember. You need to understand what a person is capable of. You need to understand how they think because when they spoke to you, and whatever they said, that was a glimpse into how they think. Now, they can always explain to you and you can always get better, but you need to understand that moment. You need to understand that time. And that's what I'm saying when it comes to everything that was going on with Snoop Dogg. We have to understand the past. I am so proud. Let me just say this. When I said, oh, this generation, I do not dislike everybody. I do not dislike all young people and young generation. As a matter of fact, I'm quite proud of the young generation. I feel like there are so many who have picked up with where we left off and they are running and extending and growing and expanding the vision. And that's just it, expanding, not reinventing, not doing anything new, not doing it by yourself, but expanding the vision and what our forefathers saw for us. Now, some of us are living beyond their wildest dreams, but they still dreamed about it being possible because they worked and they saw it. My only thing is that don't, use that voice to appreciate it. Your voice matters. That's why I'm saying words live for a long time. If you stop and think about it, if you close your eyes right now, you can remember some of the best things said to you and you can remember the worst things said to you. You will think about, there's sometimes people can say something, they can write you off, and that becomes your motivation to prove them wrong. There are other times they can encourage you, and that is your motivation to keep going. But words live longer than the person. That's why there's so many famous quotes out there, because words live. And it is so important and it is so crucial. And that's why when people do not use their words or their platform correctly, I will speak up. Like I told you, I've always had a voice. And one of the other things, just like I appreciate my parents for giving me a voice, they also gave me correction. It's rare, and I'm not going to say people do not do it, but my parents were those parents that would say, okay, wait a minute, let's fact check what you're saying. What is it built on? Okay, wait a minute, are you saying it because your friend believes that? Well, where'd you get that from, Kim? Is that a fact? And my dad, oh my gosh, my dad is, look, if you didn't grow up under the house of Clarence Guy, where you have to be checked, and he's like, okay, wait a minute, you just said all people. Kim, you don't know all people are. Okay, how do you know this, or how do you know that? And I'm grateful for that. I am so grateful because he taught me, number one, to not be a follower. He taught me to use my own mind, and then he challenged me on my thoughts. My dad will take a stand against you just to see if you really believe in what you're saying, or if you're just saying it because it sounds good. And I love that. That is something that helps to keep you grounded. It's something to help keep you rooted, and to make sure that when you're out here fighting the good fight, that you're not just preaching and talking down to people, but that you speak, and you speak not only with authority, but you speak with compassion, you speak with understanding, you speak with love, you speak with correction, you speak with hope, but you also speak from a place of you're no better than anybody else. And that is all my intentions are ever. That's why I'm talking to you about being victoriously outspoken. When your voice has been suppressed for a long time, it can come out. When it does, it can come out angry. And the goal is not for you to learn how to use your voice only to turn around and be mad that you even said anything. I want you to be empowered, and I want you to always listen to that voice, talk to yourself, listen to how it sounds coming out loud before you speak to other people, so that when you make a decision, when you speak victoriously to other people, you can walk in full victory. It doesn't mean you're going to always like the outcome, because I promise you there will be people that when you speak out, they're not used to you speaking out. They want you to go back. They want you in your shell, because that's where they were comfortable and that's where they had control. So I will never tell you that everybody is going to get on board. But what I will tell you is that when you speak out victoriously, when you can evaluate your actions and know that what you do, you're comfortable, because remember, your voice is not just audible, but it's also backed by your actions. So when you can speak out victoriously, and you will feel good about you. And when you feel good about you and the decisions you make, you will not worry and focus on the people that do not come along with the ride. You won't worry about, oh my gosh, did I mess up? Because you have evaluated your voice. So it like I said before, it may seem crazy, but talk to yourself. If you think it, and you think it longer than a day, say it out loud. Say it out loud so that you can hear what it sounds like coming out of your mouth. Say it out loud so you can think about, how did that make me feel? So that way, when you speak it to the person that you feel like needs it, you can make a good decision. Sometimes with our voice, it's not even what we say, it's what we do. Sometimes it's all about just being able to say, you know what? When I deal with this person, it's not so victorious. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to move away. And I'm going to deal with them at a distance. And that way we can both be victorious. Being victorious encompasses a lot of different things. And that's why I've been so intentional about making sure that you are victoriously outspoken. I don't want you to just run around here saying anything, because if people think that being outspoken means saying everything that comes to your mind, you have totally missed the mark on the video, because that's not being victorious. Some things that we think, we should just think, and we keep to ourselves, and we say it to just us and God, and you move on. And later on, when you are wise enough to know the difference, you'd be surprised. It's like the old people say, just keep living. By and by, he'll show you, like, see why you didn't want to say that? See why you didn't want to rush to judgment? Because consider yourself. And you'll be so glad you didn't say it out loud, because you don't have to eat crow. You don't have to feel bad. There are a lot of thoughts that come to our mind. There are a lot of emotions. And you cannot react on them. You experience and you feel emotion. And you have thoughts, but you just don't act on all of them. I want you to make sure you watch the video, like the video, subscribe, because we're going to continue being victoriously outspoken all of 2025. Bye-bye.